guys, so today's video was inspired by a video that I watched yesterday made by Lina, which you probably know. If you don't, she makes videos on YouTube, obviously, and I definitely suggest you check her out. She's really interesting. She made a video entitled, I think, The Truth About Being Single. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that's not a foreign subject for me. Apparently, it is a very deep and interesting subject since I always have things to say about it. And because two of the videos are quite old, I just figured it would be interesting to talk about that a little bit more. Especially because I think in her video, she talked about things in a way that, inspired me and to talk about it differently as well. I made a video recently that was, I suppose, a lot more focused on relationships, what I was expecting of them, or what, not expecting, but what I really thought they were. I want to touch on something a little bit different, because while I'm single for the obvious reason, sort of, that I'm not in love with someone that loves me back, I think there's also just a choice, a pure and simple choice of lifestyle. I was in only one relationship, as I said in the video I'm talking about, and I've been single for 6 years. I was in a relationship when I was 16 until I was 18. So I sort of jumped into adulthood single. I made all of my first experiences as a single person. I traveled as a single person. I started earning money as a single person. I started living on my own as a single person. I started living in Paris as a single person, and just being more myself, discovering myself, going through hard times and happy times on my own in a way. And I think, obviously in life, you're never like truly finite or like the final product of who you're supposed to be. You're in constant evolution and change. But I do believe that, at least for me, those years, like my 18, 19, 20, 21st, 22nd, 23rd and 24th years were very important years. This really shaped, I suppose, the expectations that I have of life and what I want of life. Because of the studies that I'm doing, the internship that I'm doing, and everything. What I want, I suppose, is to travel. What I want is to see the world. What I want is to meet people. What I want is to be useful and to just live to the fullest in the aspects of life that interest me. And I'm not saying this is not something you can do only when you're single, but for me, I started exploring myself and life and people and relationships and everything really about life being single, which means I had to deal with everything on my own. While I had those people that I could turn to, I do believe that having a partner or being in a relationship is very different, because it's like, for most people at least, it's the person you turn to all the time, the person you spend the most time with, the person you just sort of pour yourself into completely, and that pours himself or herself completely into you as well. And I had to build up myself and sort of my life on my own, in the negative aspect of it, because sometimes I felt really lonely, sometimes it was really hard, sometimes it was really tiring, sometimes you just want to have someone that's like always here for you in a way. But even then, honestly, I never really felt like that. It was very brief moments and it was not even that frequent. It's also something to look at in the positive, which means I had and I still have all of my time for myself, all of my money for myself. I do whatever I want, whenever I want, with whoever I want, and I have holidays. I don't have to sort of think, oh, I'm gonna spend that much time with him or her, and then I'm gonna spend that much time with my friends or on my own. No, it's like I do whatever I want. Like there's never a time in my life, except for like jobs or university, that I feel like I have to do something. And you might argue that it's a biased sort of way to look at it, because if you're with someone, you want to spend time with them. It's not like you have to spend time with them. But I'm very convinced though that there's a lot of, because of how society works, because I think society always tries to shape things on like a regular or standard sort of pattern or shape or scheme or whatever. I think most people don't really live the relationships they want to live, but more so relationships in the way they're presented by the media, relationships they see being, lived around them. And that means, in my opinion, that a lot of the things people do when they're in relationships aren't the things they want to do, but the things they feel like should be done. I see that in, honestly, all of the relationships my friends have. So I feel like, I have a lot of freedom, a lot more freedom being single than if I were to be in a relationship. And while this isn't true for everyone, and obviously there are exceptions to every rule, and especially when it's not even a rule, I look around me and all of the people I know who are in relationships do not have as much freedom as I have. I think that's true in like most cases, but you could also say, and that would be true as well, that I like something as well. I like the intimacy that I could have with like a partner, or like the continuity, as Lena said, that I would have with a partner, or like the safety, or to know that there's someone who's loving me and who's here for me and rooting for me or whatever. And ultimately, I do believe that in life you always have to make choices, and depending on the choices that you make, you lose things and you gain things. That's how life works, I think. And to be completely honest with you, I feel like, and I'm starting to get sort of used to it and like accept it, I think I like freedom more than the idea of a romantic relationship. I think I like to feel free to use my time, my money, my body, my everything as I please and as I wish, and just for me, only for me. Therefore, because I enjoy life so much, and I enjoy traveling so much, and I enjoy spending all of my money on my travels, my books, my food, everything, because I love having time for me, just for me, to watch the movies I want to watch, to read the books I want to read, to do yoga, to exercise. It would have to be such a wonderful person and such a wonderful relationship for me to give up on these things. There's something else that I have to admit. I am a dreamer, and I like things that are beautiful, that makes me dream, that makes me feel like I'm sort of experiencing life to the fullest, that fill me up with emotions so strong I can barely handle them, things that inspire me. And I don't really believe in having one person next to me that would embody that all the time. I've never met anyone, apart from one person, that made me feel that way. I've always felt like if you're not with anyone, it's sort of similar to being with everyone. And I'm not sure that really makes sense, but like, because I'm single, I don't have to worry about finding people attractive or mesmerizing or like very charming, or like I don't have to worry about flirting with people or being seen as flirty. I don't have to worry about dreaming of that one person I met in the metro, or I don't have to worry about finding this book or this movie so much better than real life. I don't want to give all these things for something that wouldn't taste as good as what I can get in my imagination, basically. And when I look at my friends, and I love my friends, and it's not to say that my life is better, but for me and my own appreciation and with my own criteria, I suppose, when I think of the things that constitute happiness, in my opinion, I don't want to live the life that my friends live. I don't want to spend days with the same person. I don't want to stay at home with the same person. I don't want to say no to a travel because he's gonna be alone, or because it's his birthday, or I don't want to have to know his friends and meet his family and have to pretend I like them all. I don't want any of the inconvenience that comes with a relationship. And you know what? I used to think this was because I was immature, or I wasn't mature enough. Now I'm starting to think it's just because I like another sort of life, and society sucks because it makes you feel like, if you're not with someone, you're really lacking the best thing that you could have out there. And yes, Lena said it perfectly in her video. People ask you if your friends compensate for your lack of relationships, or if your traveling compensate for that, or if your passion compensate for that. But no, it's so bizarre to ask if 3 different amazing things compensate for one thing. In my opinion, it would be the other way around. Like, people who are in relationships and don't do really much with their life, that's it's more a question that should be directed at them. I have to admit, I think one of the reasons why I'm single as well is because I'm selfish. I'm so happy with my life right now. When you think about it, there are so many things in life to experience and are worth, being in awe of, or being excited for, or being grateful for. And I'm not saying that people who are in relationships are not free. I'm saying that's how I see things in my life, for my situation, my personality. It's a valuable perspective because everyone's perspective is valuable, as long as you don't want to force it onto people. And that's how I'm trying to do here. I'm just trying to explain myself, and hopefully this is interesting for some of you. Hopefully some of you relate to that in any way. And if you do, please feel free to let me know, because I would really love to hear about your thoughts on that, guys. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you soon. Bye.